All right, circles. So the circles ones are a little bit simpler than your other conic sections. Notice, obviously, just compare the boxes and the formula sheet. There's only two equations you're going to be working from. Your circle either has a center at 0, 0, or it has center at some other points. The two main properties you're going to be looking at for the circles are the center and the radius. So if you have those two things, then you should be good to go to formulate the equations that you need. Right, so the first one, let's make this bigger for you. What's an equation of the circle with a center of -4, 3 and a radius of 4? As soon as you see that the center is not at 0, 0, you're going to be using this equation. It's on your formula sheet right here. And then we've given it to you here. Okay. The trick here with these to be really careful of is your negatives. So these subtraction symbols are part of the formula, they're part of the equation. So it needs to be x minus and y minus. And then whatever you are substituting in for h, so h is a -4, they're substituting in a -4. So it becomes x minus -4, which is x plus 4. Okay, and then for the y, it's y minus k. Our k is a +3, so they put in a +3. So when it's simplified, it's just the y minus 3. So that's really going to just be careful with that. When you're putting them in, this x minus and y minus, those are part of the formula. A lot of students just put, you're just putting in a 4 and a 3, and you're not paying attention that these need to stay there, and this is what you're substituting. Okay, so always notice they've done here, you put parentheses around what you're substituting. That should help you out. So we have our equation, x plus 4 plus y minus 3 squared is 16. You could solve it for y and graph it on the calculator if you wanted to check, make sure that you got the center correct. All right, problem 2, using translation to write an equation. So they give us this basic equation, x squared plus y squared equals 9. Notice it matches this format. So for this equation, the center is at 0, 0. But then they want you to move it 4 units left and 3 units up. Okay, so if our center was at 0, 0, if it's moving 4 to the left and 3 up, it now has a new center at those points. So 4 to the left is -4, 3 up is +3. So we have a new center. Your new center is going to be whatever you translated by. Okay? And then the radius is not going to change. So here it said equals 9. So our equation is still going to equal 9. That means our radius was 3. So we have, instead of this x squared plus y squared equals 9, we're going to be using x squared plus y squared, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So x minus, and then our h is a -4. Y minus our k is a 3. And then it should equal r squared. So the equation equaled 9. So 9 equals r squared. Take the square root both sides, so r is 3. Yes, when you take the square root, you get plus and minus, but radius is a measure of a length, so it's just the positive. So this is x plus 4 plus y minus 3 squared is going to be 3 squared. Okay, number 3. Which equation matches the circular irrigation field? So we need 2 pieces of information. You need a radius and a center. They've given us both of those. The center is at 450 and 500, and our radius is 400. So if we put that into this equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. It's going to be x minus 450 squared plus y minus 500 squared equals 400 squared. It's going to be 160,000, which I believe matches up with this one. Okay. So far you found the center and the radius and use those to write the equation. We can, if you have the equation, you can look at it to figure out what the center and the radius were. So if they give us this equation, the radius is easy to do. This, whatever it equals to, equals r squared. So take the square root of that number, you get 12. So that's how we find the r. And then the h and k's, right? This is in this position, and the k is in this position. Just be careful again with the negatives, because the negative had to be included in the formula. So for them to end up with x minus 16, that means that h was originally a positive 16. And for this to become y plus 9, it means that it was a y minus a negative 9. Okay, so just be careful with your signs. Don't say it's 16 and 9 or negative 16 and 9. You need to, make sure that you think about where those signs came from. And then the last one for graphing, looking at this equation, I know that my h was a negative 1, right? Because this positive came from a minus minus. And then my k is a positive 3, and our radius is 5. Because if I take the square root of 25, I get 5. So do your center point first, negative 1, 3, and then you're going to count 5 units to the outside. And then the radius is the same all the way around. So I usually do the 4 points first and then fill it in.